political corruption in places like California, New York, New Jersey, and Chicago is so well known that it's sort of just taken for granted. I mean, you know that all of these places are rigged in very specific and monopolized ways that determined outcomes, that make sure that all of the things that the BLMs of the world and everybody that cries oh so much about this terrible system that they want to address, that's where it all is. And I came across this article a few days back, but it took me a minute to actually get around to it. So here we are at the New York Post. Exclusive. Confessions of a voter fraud. I was a master at fixing mail-in ballots. This is written by John Levin. A top Democratic operative says voter fraud, especially with mail-in ballots, is no myth, and he knows this because he's been doing it on a grand scale for decades. Mail-in ballots have become the latest flashpoint of the 2020 elections, while President Trump and the GOP warn of widespread manipulation of the absentee vote that will swell with COVID polling restrictions. Many Democrats and their media allies have dismissed such concerns as unfounded, which is nonsense, okay? Like, guys, I watched as my, like, you guys, well, a lot of you guys know that I've been an elected official. And one of the things that I watched was my own, and I won on a write-in, and I watched my own vote for me in that write-in election disappear. Now, I was running unopposed, so I got the seat regardless, but I literally watched my own vote for me disappear behind one of the machines in my at my local polling station. But the political insider, who spoke on condition of anonymity because he fears prosecution, said fraud is more the rule than the exception. His dirty work has taken him through the weeds of municipal and federal elections in Paterson, Atlantic City, Camden, Newark, Hoboken, and Hudson County, and his fingerprints can be found in local legislative, mayoral, and congressional races across the Garden State. I have absolutely no doubt about it. Some of the biggest names and highest office holders in New Jersey have benefited from his tricks, according to campaign records the Post reviewed. An election that is swayed by 500 votes, 1,000 votes, it can make a difference, the tipster said. It could be enough to flip seats. The whistleblower, whose identity, rap sheet, and long history working as a consultant to various campaigns were confirmed by the Post, says he not only changed ballots himself over the years, but led teams of fraudsters and mentored at least 20 operatives in New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania, a critical 2020 swing state. PA, yeah, definitely, but New Jersey, New York, being how how else do you basically guarantee a Joe Biden W in these parts? And the crazy part is that those who benefit from it, I mean, all these elected officials that they're talking about, oh, what? Man, this, like, we win our races hard and fair and square. And that's why I don't know when the last debate, particularly in Essex County, ever was. I can't speak to any of the other counties, but I mean, damn, like, debate. What? I ain't looking at you like look at you like you crazy, like debate, like nah, bro, that's not how this works around here. There is no race in New Jersey from city council to United States Senate that we haven't worked on, the tipster said. I worked on a fire commissioner's race in Burlington County. The smaller race, the easier it is to do. A Bernie Sanders diehard with no horse in the presidential race, he said he felt compelled to come forward in the hope that states would act now to fix the glaring security problems present in mail-in ballots. This is a real thing, he said, and there is going to be an effing war coming November 3rd over this stuff. If they knew how the sausage was made, they could fix it. And that's a big part of the reason why I've done what I've done over the past, almost going on decade now, where I've really had my hands, dirty when it comes to the root problems that these communities that everyone likes to say, oh my goodness, oh, like the urban sectors face. And yeah, I can't help but be inclined to believe this individual. Mail-in voting can be complicated. Tough enough that 84,000 New Yorkers had their mailed votes thrown out in the June 23rd Democratic presidential primary for incorrectly filling them out. And it honestly doesn't make any sense. Like the CV situation is a 99% um it's a 99% survival rate, and if it was the apocalyptic, cataclysmic, world-ending situation that they so said it was going to be after all of these rallies and riots, like the just dropping dead. But that's not the case. But for political pros, they're a piece of cake. In New Jersey, for example, it begins with a blank mail-in ballot delivered to a registered voter in a large envelope. Inside the packet is a return envelope, a certificate of mail-in voter, which the voter must sign, the ballot itself. That's when the election rigor springs into action. Phony ballots. The ballot has no specific security features like a stamp or a watermark, so the insider said he would just make his own ballots. I just put the ballot through the copy machine and it comes out the same way, the insider said. But the return envelopes are more secure than the ballot. You could never recreate the envelope, he said. They had to be collected from real voters. He would have his operatives fan out, going house to house, convincing voters to let them mail completed ballots on their behalf as a public service. The fraudster and his minions would then take these sealed envelopes home and hold them over boiling water. You have to steam it to loosen the glue, said the insider. He would then remove the real ballot placed from the counterfeit ballot inside the signed certificate and reseal the envelope. 5 minutes per ballot tops. So I mean, it's a shoot, man. When you're doing crimes, right? Like people like to act like, oh, being a criminal is just oh so easy. No, it's work. Like, it definitely takes quite a bit of elbow grease. It's part of the reason why I have a level of respect for the underground and the underworld, because once again, it's really familiar with the outlaw lifestyle, and as well as it's all in the game, right? So yeah, I wanted to take a moment and really acknowledge um, this article, because I know, yeah, a lot of outlets and a lot of individuals won't, but it really speaks to a problem that we've had here in the Garden State for a really long time, that prayerfully, if Trump gets a second term, the DOJ can actually look into it, because this is nonsense. This is a big part of the reason why these communities end up in the position that they're in, because instead of fighting, people just get tired and leave. Like I said, that right flight thing really takes hold. But you may disagree. With all that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like to toss it, like this, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. You want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and are the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Yeah, this talk about something that just stacks on to everything that I've complained about for the past few years. But you may disagree. You might think, hey Jay, how dare you, Jay? How dare you insinuate that or imply that New Jersey's political system is anything but just on the up and up? I mean, what are you, mad, sir? So you may disagree, and if you do, that's what my comment section's for. Until the next one.